Today we're doing something that Americans don't just like.
They defend. This is New York style pizza, and if you've never had it, it's not just pizza, it's a way of life.
In New York City, pizza is not just a sit-down meal. It is eaten folded and on the move, and it doesn't require a knife and fork.
The slices are massive. The crust is thin, and if it doesn't fold properly, New Yorkers will tell you straight.
So today we want to find out what actually makes New York style pizza different, and is it up to the hype?
Let's get into it.
New York pizza is all about that base, so we've got to get a base that's crusty and chewy and thin but thick, you know, on the edges. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to get this exactly right, but we're going to try our very best. So to start off, we've got some strong bread flour. We're using bread flour because it's got a high gluten content. Right, next up we need to add some sugar, some yeast and some salt. Go for it, darling.
I need a bit of water.
Okay. I believe to make this dough chewy, we need to add some kind of fat content. So today we're going to be adding olive oil. And finally we've got some water. Now I'm going to add just a little bit because I don't want to add too much. So can I just do this bit? You can help me pour it if you like.
How many?
How many? We'll stop in a minute. There. Okay, we're going to be using the KitchenAid today and the trusty dough hook.
It's getting thick, is it?
Oh, it is. Right, that has formed a ball, which was what we wanted. And we're just going to leave it to rest for 5 minutes before we carry on with mixing it. We've let this rest for 5 minutes, so we're just going to give it another mix for about 2 further minutes on medium-low. What we want is that dough to hold its shape and for it to come away from the sides, which I think it has done. So we'll just give that a further minute, and then what we'll do is we'll try that window pane test with the dough. Okay, I think that looks quite good, but from someone that hasn't made pizza very often, and certainly no connoisseur with dough, I'm thinking that looks all right. What do you think, Alana? Yeah? The recipe we're following today comes from the American Pie cookbook that Phil kindly sent us. You might have remembered us opening this one quite a few moons ago. But this is a trusty little Bible for the perfect pizza. The window pane test, we've got to grab a bit of the dough.
You're not, like, throwing it against our windows, are you?
No, but I did hear that with pasta, if you chuck it against a tiled wall or maybe a window, I'm not sure, and it sticks, it tells you your pasta's done, but not one that I really want to try. Now this does feel a little bit sticky, but apparently if you stretch out the dough until it's quite thin, you should get like a little membrane in the middle, and if you could see light through it without it stretching, is a window pane test.
Oh yeah, that's done.
Well,
I don't want it because it's so sticky.
you don't want it because it's so sticky, but you like things like slime and Play-Doh, don't you?
Not sticky pizza.
Not sticky pizza? Oh, okay. Right, this is enough to make 3 pizza bases. So we just got to pop this. Oh, I don't know if that's sticking now. This is going to be enough to make 3 pizza bases. So we need to divide this into 3 balls.
What did you say you didn't have one, Mummy?
Were you not listening to what I said? Oh, I said we're going to divide it into 3 balls.
What? Well, no, well, it's big.
Now we're gonna pop these into some freezer Ziploc bags. So can you hold it open for Mummy? And then Mummy needs to cover it with a bit of oil. So good pizza is not rushed, it's rested. So we're gonna pop these into the refrigerator at least overnight before we get on with those doughs. So popping it in the refrigerator is gonna do one of a few things, but the first thing is gonna slow down that fermentation process. This leads to a better dough and it is key for New York style pizza. It's also gonna give us a much better flavor. When yeast works slowly, you get rid of that bready, raw, floury taste. It also develops a more complex, tangy flavor and also produces more complex organic acids. By popping that dough in the fridge is allowing the time for it to rest and for the gluten to relax. This means it's going to become more elasticated, more stretchy, so hopefully we're going to be able to stretch out those doughs, because one key thing for New York style pizza is the sheer size. Cold fermentation of the dough allows gases to be trapped inside of the dough, which means it expands better in the oven as well. So I'm quite excited to try this New York style base. I've not had a New York style pizza before, especially an authentically made one. I guess we've had claims from pizzerias over here claiming to be New York style, but it's going to be exciting to put this to the test and try it for the first time. But by all accounts, in New York, one of the things that make it quite key to having a New York style dough is the water. So a lot of pizzerias, if they set up outside of New York, apparently they import the water from New York to be able to make the dough exactly how they would make it at home. I guess you're gonna have to join us tomorrow when we put all that to the test and see if this cold fermentation process has actually worked. That pizza dough has come out the refrigerator, has been sat on the side, coming to room temperature for about 2 hours. So before we get rolling this, we're gonna get on with some pizza sauce. So we're gonna make a simple marinara sauce from the book again. We've got some tomato puree heating in this pan. Now, I use that word reluctantly because puree over here is a different thing from what you call tomato puree. And I didn't want a repeat incident of when we made the lasagna where we used tomato paste, I think it was, instead of puree. We've got some parsley, thyme, sage, oregano, salt, garlic powder, and basil, and pepper. Next, we're gonna go in with some red wine vinegar. Now, this isn't my recipe for the marinara sauce, but I am debating whether or not to add any sugar just to cut the acidity of the tomatoes and now the red wine vinegar. So I am going to taste it in a little bit, see how it tastes and see if we need to add any sugar. We're also going in with some olive oil. We're going to just allow this to simmer for 15 minutes, but let's get on with those pizza bases. David just said to me off camera, you're not looking very confident, and that's because I'm not. I'm not entirely sure that this has done what it needs to do.
No, she's not.
I'm not. This is why I think I've refrained from making this until now. I'm not sure if it's done what it needs to do, but it looks quite wet. Alana, here's the test.
It's quite sticky.
It is quite sticky, but that might just be the oil that we covered it in. So let's pop that down.
It's sticking to your hand.
It is. For the first time ever, I just watched a little video on how to do this. So I'm hoping we do this correctly. So what we just watched, Alana, we were going to make a little hat, weren't we? Do you want to help?
Not for doing the rounds because it's a bit tricky for my little fingers.
And you wonder why I'm not confident. Even Alana doesn't want to do it. We've got our little hat now.
Looks like a pasty.
It does. If all else fails, we've made a New York style pasty. And now we're going to flip it over.
Can I feel?
Yeah, so do it around the, not in the middle, go around the outside. So it is getting bigger now. It's not really round, and that's my fault. And then the gentleman we just watched should now start working the bubble inwards. So let's work the bubble like this. That's it, darling. Right, let's work that bubble.
This feels really nice and soft.
Does it?
Yeah, with the flour on.
It does. The flour is very soft, isn't it, like you just said?
I'm really good at flipping.
So he was kind of doing this. Did you know, though, in New York, there's about 3,000 to 5,000 pizzerias in New York alone? Nor did I. So he was kind of hand stretching it. Whoa. I've not got the knack for this.
And he was like doing this.
Oh, was he? I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, I'm getting it all wrong.
Me?
Yeah.
The confidence in me is kind of unreal, isn't it? First David says I don't look very confident, and the next minute Alana tells me I'm getting it all wrong. Now let's just go for a little bit more of a stretch. This is going to be the least round pizza you've ever seen. I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to push it down any further. I'm not going to stretch it anymore because I'm not really sure what's going to happen from here on in. We have got our lovely looking marinara or pizza sauce, so we need to pop this on, Alana, but we're not going to do it on the edges. We're going to leave a bit of space on the edges like pizza. If you pour it in the middle, that's it. And then if you use the back of the spoon to move it around, but not too close to the edges, that's it. Do you need some more sauce, do you think? Doing a great job. Oh, splashing me there.
Need some cheese.
We do need some cheese. So we've got a mixture of different cheeses here. We've got mozzarella, cheddar, and a bit of pecorino romano.
Whee!
That's it.
Big pinch. This is going to be a nice pizza.
And then we just need a sprinkling of oregano. Right, we're going to pop this into the air fryer for about 14 minutes, but we're going to check on it halfway through and just see how it's cooking. They're not quite as big as I believe you get in New York, but we've got that foldability, and I believe you just eat it like this.
It's so stretchy. Is my cheese stretchy?
The mix of the cheeses on that is really good. And that marinara sauce, the seasonings in that, I mean, that's epic. It tastes really good. You could taste the oregano in there, but it's not too overpowering. This is just a really lovely slice of pizza. And you know what? The fact that you added that bit of oil into the marinara sauce itself, I think it gives it that nice like oily texture on top, which I know not everybody likes, but I think from memory, that is something that is traditional for a lot of pizzas. I know when we went to Costco and we had pizza, a lot of people said, yeah, that oil is one of those things you need to have on it. I'm gonna try a bit of the crust now just to see if I can really taste that dough. Oh, it has got a really nice texture. It's quite nice and airy. I'm not sure if you can see that.
It smells like pizza now.
Slightly chewy, definitely crispy.
I'm going to have 2 pieces.
It's not like the other pizzas that we've tried. So we have tried the Detroit style pizza, which I loved as well. And we did try Chicago deep dish. That was really nice, but I don't think I did that one justice. So if you'd like to see us make Chicago deep dish again, let us know in the comments down below.
Not too hot. Yum, yum, yum.
What do you think?
Good. I still see a flour.
Yeah, it's very artisan style, that.
Yeah.
Is that better than the pizzas that we buy?
These are really good. I want to make these pizzas every day.
As far as the cheese and tomato pizza goes, I would give it a 9.
So I've been back there absolutely salivating, listening to you and smelling this amazing pizza. My go-to, believe it or not, all the barbecuing I do, I always go for vegetarian. This smells exquisite.
Do you like the smell of my pizza?
I love the smell of your pizza. Now, fun fact, you crazy Americans, you love your pizza. 30 million slices of pizza are sold in the US each day.
Do you like my pizza, Daddy? Do you like my pizza? Do you like it?
No. Did you make this? Are you sure?
Yeah.
This is like Michelin star pizza. It's like one of the best pizza slices I've ever had.
I made it on my own.
Oh my God. That is better than any Domino's, than anything that I've bought before. It's so tasty. I love it. I like a thin base, nice and crispy, got a little bit of substance to it, but you can fold it. Bloody hell, this is tasty. Really, really tasty. Needed the sauce as well. High five, Clive. I can't get over how good this is. I think this is like one of the best pizzas I've ever had. And I'm not exaggerating. Right. That has come out amazing. Marks out of 10. I think it's got everything. I wouldn't want to put meat on there. I think you put anything on there, you're going to ruin what it's all about. And we made this at home. This is like, I would pay for this. Unbelievable. We need to go to New York and try this. But for my marks out of 10, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. It's so good.
I give it a 10 out of 10 too.
10 out of 10, whoa! Guys, if you're enjoying this journey, like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We've got some amazing videos coming up. And all that leaves this little British family to say is, God bless!
And see y'all in the next video!